What is up, you beautiful bastards? I'm Rabbit, and we're back at it. I'm gonna go over today hunters and everything that you need to know so that way you're not told to uninstall in the first 3 minutes of your next match. Alright, first things first, like and subscribe. After that, what hunter should you play? Just like marijuana, there's about 3 different strains of hunters. There's attack speed hunters, there's hybrid hunters, and then there's ability-based hunters. The best way to think about it would be the attack speed hunters. They use their basic attack as their priority, and their abilities are bonuses, where your ability-based abilities are priority, and their attacks are bonuses. And then there is hybrid, which does a little bit of a flow of both. Alright, so now you're looking at me like, alright, Rabbit, well, which one should I pick? Well, if you're like Alexander Hamilton and you're not going to throw away your shot, definitely go with attack speed. You're going to get more out of it. You're going to do a lot better because you can actually hit your basics. But if you play like me, where I play Helen Keller style, where it looks like I'm actively trying to miss the enemy, well, then ability base is better because if I hit my abilities, which usually have a wider range, I have a much higher chance of hitting, although I might not be doing as much damage or it's going to be a slow burn, then I'm going to go for the ability based. They all have their perks and they all have their takeaways. That's how I look at it. Out of these lists, I say Izanami is a great one for attack speed. For the hybrid or middle, I'd say Cupid is a phenomenal pick. And then for the ability based, Amuzan Cobb right here off the end. Those 3 are going to be, I think, your starter beginners that are just really good gods to play, and they're really easy to pick up and go with. So go try those out. Moving on, what items should I buy? And now listen, I know that there's going to be some of you out there that are not exactly 100% beginners, and you're going to be looking at me like, hey, Rabbit, you know, you can't have one build for every god, or at least one build that's going to do well in every match. I know, okay, but there's got to be a line that you got to draw in the sand. Yes, you are going to have to be adaptive when you get better, so that way your builds are based off of the enemy. But in the beginning, when you're just trying to figure out your grasp and you want to like, okay, I'm playing this kind of god and this kind of thing, these builds will help you out. Let's go into it. Alright, for those of you that chose the attack speed build, we got this here. First off, we have Ornate Arrow. Ornate Arrow is going to cause some minions and some jungle camps to have a little arrow above their head. If you kill them, you get bonus gold and bonus mana and a bonus attack speed. So, you know, aim for those first. It seems kind of common sense. Anyways, we got Devourer's Gauntlet next. Devourer's Gauntlet needs stacks, but overall what it's going to do is give you a nice boost to power and a nice boost to lifesteal. Following that up, we got Kin Size. That's going to give you attack speed, and it's going to help you shred those bigger boys, those tanks and guardians, as well as warriors. Then we got Wind Demon. Wind Demon, again, stacking on that attack speed, and now we got Crit involved, which is going to help you shred those enemies a little bit more. Now we got Silver Branch. That's going to give you penetration, and it's going to give you attack speed. Beautiful thing to have together. And now we have Deathbringer, which is going to really drive that power home and give you some more crit. And now we have the ability-based build. This is going to start with Bluestone, which is going to give you some MP5s, and it's going to give you some extra power. It's going to give you also some tick damage, so that way as they're walking away after you hit your shots, they can still potentially die. It's one of the most satisfying things ever. One of the other items that do that is Crusher, but that's not on my list. Also look into that. It's one of the most satisfying things, is as you hit your ability, they have just a little bit of life left, and they're just running away, and then it's just poof, dead. Amazing. Moving on, we got Transcendence. Transcendence is going to give you a huge mana pool. It's going to give you some cooldowns, and it's going to give you a huge boost to damage. Now, one thing I cannot stress enough here is that as soon as you get enough gold to purchase the tier 3 of Transcendence, or as in the last build, the Devourer's Gauntlet, you need to go back to base and buy them. So that way you can get stacks online as fast as possible, because the faster you get that fully built, the more damage you'll be able to do to your opponents, and the more you'll be able to put them behind. Moving on, we got Jotun's Vigor, which is the glyph from Jotun's Wrath. Okay, so this is going to give you a little bit of penetration, and it's going to give you 20% cooldowns. This means that you're going to get your abilities back so much faster, so you can recycle and reuse them a lot faster. But beware, you can only cap at 40, and you already have Transcendence, which gives you 10%. This will give you 20%, put you at a nice 30. Be careful, just don't overcap. Hydra's Lament, which is going to give you a little bit more damage. After you use an ability, it's going to give you a lot more damage, and then it's going to give you what is going to feel like a near infinite mana pool once you already have these items built. So that's a great start right there. And then we're going to go into Titan's Bane, where you get a huge chunk of penetration, so you get 20%, and then your abilities get percentage penetration as well. This is going to be the item you need to take out the tanks. It lives up to its name. It's Titan's Bane. It's the Bane of Titans. Makes sense. Then you got Heart Seeker over here, which is one of my favorite items. It does a lot of damage. You get some penetration. It's another item that's there to just absolutely decimate the opponent, but it's very expensive. So just understand its cost to value ratio. But this is a great starter build for any kind of ability-based hunter. Moving on. So the next question naturally is, how do I play a hunter? Like, what am I supposed to do? And you know what? I kind of feel like I should have answered this question like in the first couple pieces, because I mean, it's just like explaining what the hunter is and what the role of the hunter does. But regardless, we can go over it now. Alright, so to quickly explain it, the hunter is someone who takes the purple buff and then they go ahead and put in damage from a distance. What does it really mean though? So the hunter has a lot of damage behind that basic attack, and their basic attack, no matter if you did an auto build or you did the ability build, you're going to be putting in a lot of damage using your basic attacks. So what you have to do is stay back behind your tanks, behind your other players, but you're going to dish out damage into the foreground. You're going to clear minions. You're going to take any kind of structure or objective. Your job is to just keep spraying down lane behind your teammates. I want you to be so far up your support's ass that you're pretty much doing a rectal exam, because you should never be in front of them. You should never be in front of them. You should be taking shots from behind them or from behind your own minions. You are one that's going to be way too squishy to be up on the front lines. If you're in the middle of the mix, you're probably going to die. So by looking at what a hunter is supposed to do, it's basically just structure damage and player damage from afar, and you shred. You are the shredder. You are attack damage carry, the ADC, attack damage carry. Your basic attack damage, and you carry through that damage. Like, you carry the team by just doing a lot of damage from the back. Now, your job of your warriors and your guardians or any kind of support, it could even be assassin support or whatever, it doesn't matter, is to protect you to a degree, as long as you're not being stupid. If you're being stupid and running up and dying, I mean, that's not the Guardian's fault. You did that. You did that. But if you're playing behind the Guardians and the Guardians are the ones that are going to be basically peeling for you, then this is what the job of the hunter is. You just stay back, you fight, you go in a little bit if you need to secure the kill or something like that, but you don't die for it. Like, you got to be careful. If you feed, if you lose traction, the team loses traction really quickly and the game is over. So the objective behind the hunter is to just provide as much damage as possible from a distance. And finally, like any last child, we're going to go over Conquest and figure out, where do you go? Okay, I understand the game is very big and very confusing at first, so this is only going to be for Conquest on where do I go, because Arena, you pretty much just go to the center, slash, you just try to survive. Assault, there's only one way to go. You really can't get lost. I mean, try going backwards, see what happens. I don't really know. But we're going to go over Conquest, and I'm going to try and break down, where do you go, what time intervals, where should you be, etc. Alright, so now you're going to sit here and you just started up a Conquest game and you're a hunter. Where do you go? Alright, it's very easy. First, you're going to go to green buff with your support. Please understand one thing, very imperative here. Do not stand under the buff like it's a pinata. Stand back. You don't even have to be in it, okay? As long as the support is in it, you can still do damage to it. Somebody has to be in the range of the buff, but don't stand under it, because if you grab it, you set yourself behind it drastically. But then, once you get down to the green buff, you're going to head over to the purple buff. The purple buff is going to be your buff. You're going to grab the attack speed buff. It's going to help you shred the lane faster. Once you get the purple buff and get into the lane, you're going to want to shred down the minions as fast as possible. This means disregard the damn enemy. Okay, if you hit the enemy, the minions will focus you. If you don't hit the enemy, you can just shred the minions. It's wild how many times I see people will start to attack the players on the first wave, because the minions will fuck your day up. All right, they will fuck your day up. So you shred the minions while you have minions, and once you get them, if you're able to kill all the minions before they kill all your minions, you get to level 2. And at level 2, you already do a significant amount more damage, and now you target the enemy. Okay, while there's no enemy minions, now you target the enemy, and now they have to be on the heals, because not only do they have to fight you, they have to fight your support, but they also have to fight your minions, all on level 1, which means they all only have one ability. Okay, so now you push. If on the other take though, they take the first wave of minions, then you need to back up. And this is where I express that you need to be the support's butt plug. You need to be up their ass, because if for any reason you're ahead of your support and they switch around on you and somehow get the drop on you, your support isn't going to be able to help you from behind you. So you need to be able to put yourself behind the support and be in attacking range. So that way all the damage goes to the support, or almost all the damage. Then once you're out of that first wave, you're going to move into the first jungle camp, and then the second jungle camp, and then the cross jungle camp. You'll keep an eye on these because they will keep popping up throughout the match, and you got to keep grabbing them so that way you get the experience and you get a leg up on your opponent. Okay, the only other thing is that you're going to be doing this for a while. It's lane for a while, probably about 5 minutes by yourself. As soon as the 5-minute mark hits, typically the support will rotate into the middle lane, and then you'll be by yourself. You still have to take the camps, you still have to get your purple buff, and you still definitely have to focus the minions. Please understand, the minions, even at level 5 or 5 minutes in or whatever, are still gonna fuck your day up. They will absolutely end you if you do not pay attention to them. Okay, so while doing all this though, you also have to fight the enemy hunter. Watch your health, watch your mana. You'll do just fine if you just stay behind your minions. If you don't have minions and he has minions and he's up pushing you, you need to get the fuck back under tower. There's no reason that you're out of tower if you don't have any minions. Straight up. You should never be pushed up if you don't have minions. That's a rule. That's a rule. I'm making it right now. If you don't have minions, you don't get the push up. You need to have your minions there, and you need to have his minions clear. Okay? Once you do that, you check your camps. If the camps are down, then there's not really too much of you to do. Maybe you rotate into middle for a gank. Maybe you sit your lane for an extra second. Maybe you back, buy items, and get back to lane. At the 10-minute mark, you're going to start looking at the Gold Fury and the more special camps, like the Pyromancer and the Scorpions and things like that. As a carry, obviously they're on the other side of the map besides the Gold Fury, but if you're able to take the enemy tower and really push up, then you'll have a much better time taking the Gold Fury, and your team will gather around that. It also helps that if you're at least having a lot of space in between you guys or anything of the sort, that the assassin can come in and gank. By you falling back, the assassin comes in and ganks your lane, takes out their hunter. It's very simple, but overall, carry is very simple on where you should be. It's definitely just in the duo lane until a tower goes down. Once a tower goes down, either way, you got to start rotating mid or back, and mid and back, to make sure that your lane has their minions pushed up, and then you go to mid to fight a little bit, come back, go through the jungle camps. It's very positional at that point in following their carry or looking for good picks or just clearing minions. That's pretty much how you do it. But that was my tutorial on what hunter should you play, what items you should buy, how to go, how do I play, where do I go, you know the rest. I pretty much broke it all down for you. Guys, if you like that video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave anything in the comments. Even better yet, you can join the Discord. I'm always in there. I'm constantly talking to people. If you have any questions, I can help guide you through it. And if all else, I don't know. I mean, I got more videos coming out soon. I'm going to be doing one for each role. So I hope they help. And until next time, VER, VVX.